Hi everyone again. Another telephone from Telephones of the World. This one is a little bit different and it's interesting in many ways. I've left it disassembled, as it were. It's easier to talk about because so many bits inside are totally different to what is familiar with the telephone 706 standard of the GPO. This one's obviously, when I say a copy, they're not really copies. They're phones which were manufactured by some of the private companies who also supplied BT phones or the GPO phones, but made their own private exchange systems to be used in factories or offices where they in no way were connected to the GPO lines. This did happen, it was illegal, and there was normally a relay somewhere along the line called a prohibition relay, and as soon as one of these were actually connected to a line, the relay within BT's property would come in. Anyhow, enough of that. We'll start with the handset. Now, it's a normal handset. I'm knocking something down. I'll take a... Now, the earpiece is a standard type of insert, but the transmitter is the old style transmitter, types you would find on a 300 type telly. So they obviously hadn't or didn't use the modern ones, but nevertheless it's still functional and still usable. As I say, these were manufactured in the 1960s, as I said, by Pye, this would be Pye of Cambridge, which I believe now is a branch of Philips. Let's have a look at the rest of the insides. Immediately you'll notice that it is totally different. Some parts are the same. The actual capacitor is now on this side, where on the GPO phones it was normally standing up that end. You've got the side tone induction coil shown there, if I can show it a bit clearer. But look at the bell. Alright, it's got standard gongs, 24B and 24A, the number on the gongs, which is the normal. But look at the bell mechanism itself. Totally different. Absolutely different. And you've got an adjusting screw there, which I'm not going to interfere with, but I'll show you a little write-up within the telephone itself, or under the casing along the diagram. Terminals look fairly much of the same. Without tapping them out and telling you where they go to, I would assume they are the same as a normal 706. Another interesting feature, look where you would have had a little plug-in regulator. It's not there. And where it would make contacts, get it a bit clear, I want to get it clear, that's where it would normally plug in. They're blank, completely blank. So this model never used a regulator. Having said this, they did in fact turn out one of these. I think it was suffix with a D. So it'd be 1806D, and that did have a regulator. So it looks to me that they made two types of phone. The other regulated one also has the same type of bell arrangement and looks more or less the same, except it's got a regulator. Now, coming to the dial, you'd expect it to be an English dial. Oh no. Turn it over. I won't open it up or anything like that, but you can see it's a continental dial. And in fact, these dials were made in Germany. I know they did make some very good dials, totally different to the English ones. And this looks very much like one of those. So they used a German-made dial. There's the front of the dial. Silvered, well, it's a metal front with the old finger stop, which is a little bit spaced away from the O. But not to worry, they're well made. As far as I know, I haven't tested this phone out, but I would think that it will work. I don't mention the actual bell has only got one coil, and as you operate, put the receiver on, you've got a contact underneath which it goes down. Rather crude, but possibly effective. Another point of these, have a look at the case. It is more or less a standard case, but they're different type of plungers. They're round ones, silvered. The case is kept on with two little screws at the back, which is also a feature of this particular type of phone. Front shows the normal ring with numbers. Looking inside, you've got a different arrangement where the plungers go. You can see the little screw at the back which holds in on that little clip there. So it's held in by the back. Not necessarily where you'd think it was held in. I know I unscrewed those, but I did that wrong. I shall tighten those up again because it moves the whole attachment up, which would bring it up like that. So these two screws do not have anything to do with holding the case on. Now, just before I go, let me show you two little extra bits. This is instructions. Hold it on there so you can read it. Gives you the telephone type 1806, and it shows you how you'd adjust the bell. And I was talking about that little screw in the front. Screw there is adjusted to give it loud or soft. Turn the cover over and you're shown I would consider the older diagram of the two, because this diagram does not show any regulators, and I know on the Type D it does show the regulators in a slightly different diagram. So I would think this is possibly an older version, which probably makes it more valuable. So there's the diagram. Let me put it down close so you can pick it up. Obviously shows the induction coil, but the circuit is fairly basic, but it does the job. And the symbols are a little bit different to what you would normally find. Anyhow, that concludes my ramblings about this phone. I hope you can enjoy it. Let us know if anyone else has one of these. As I say, I listened to Andy Shed, which is a very, very good thing on YouTube. And as I say, I'm just wondering if he has seen one of those. They're certainly interested. Anyhow, once again, many thanks for watching. Any comments, please make, subscribe, and we'll get another phone up soon. Thank you.